Welcome to the Oregon City Special Regular Meeting for September 5th, 2023. The time now is 8:01, and I will ask Ms. Ralston to take a roll call vote of council members present.
It is, just for the record, is not required to be here, but for the record, you can take it. It is not required to
It's a
attend.
special regular meeting.
Special meeting is not required to attend, but you can take it as a
Okay,
record.
go ahead.
Mr. Davish?
Here.
Mr. Drake?
Here.
Mr. Horniak?
Here.
Mrs. Pauloff? Mr. Reeves?
Here.
Mr. Wallensack?
Here.
Mr. Zale?
Here, Council Ms. Pauloff could not be with us tonight because of an illness, and I guess we don't need to actually.
That
get
is
her
correct.
excused, so we'll let that go with that. Also present at tonight's meeting is Mayor Michael Safarian, City Administrator Joel Major, Clerk of Council Cassie Rawlson, Public Service Director Paul Roman, Fire Chief Clayton O'Brien, Assistant Fire Chief Mark Mullins, and Finance Director Nick Roman. Council, the first item for this evening, or the only item for this special meeting, is item 123, 2023. And I will defer quickly to Mr. Major, even though we did discuss this quite a bit in the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. I have nothing to add to it, but this is the next step to getting the town center site developed.
Thank you, Mr. Major.
Yep.
Council, do you have any questions or comments on this item further from the last meeting? Hearing none, I will assign item 123, 2023 as ordinance 123, 2023, and ask Ms. Ralston to read into the record.
Authorizing the mayor to enter into a development agreement with FP Oregon LLC and Ohio Limited Liability Company, 200 Park Avenue, Suite 220, Orange Village, Ohio, for the development of the Town Center Phase 1 and declaring an emergency.
Council,
Mr. President,
Mr. Horniak.
I move for passage of ordinance 123 of 2023 as an emergency measure.
Second. Thank you, sir. Second by Mr. Wallensack. Thank you, Mr. Wallensack. And before I ask Ms. Ralston to take a roll call vote on this item, I'm going to read you a letter that Councilman Pauloff had written that she wanted read at this meeting regarding this particular ordinance. I extend my apologies for not being able to attend tonight's special meeting due to an acute medical issue which requires quarantine. This next step is extremely important to set the foundation for developing the town center. It's taken a great deal of time, work, and negotiation to finally get to this stage of the process, not to mention the overwhelming obstacles of the bad economy and a global pandemic. It is very much appreciated that getting it done right is more important than getting it done quickly. Many individuals speculated with comparisons to other areas of Northwestern Ohio. Oregon is wonderfully unique and deserves the greatest attention to detail when enhancing its identity. I am fully in favor of this development agreement, and I am confident that it will catapult the reality and the excitement of the town center. I want to thank everybody involved for the past 4 years who've gotten us to this point of the project. It's about time. Thank you. Ms. Ralston, would you take a roll call vote of council, please?
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mr. Wallensack?
Yes.
Mr. Davish?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
Mr. Zale?
Yes, thank you, council. Ordinance 123-2023 passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. And this does complete our agenda for this special meeting. And now I will move to the mayor's report.
Once again, I have no report, but I want to thank everybody's patience to get us to this point, and so we move.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Major.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Major. Mr. Roman.
No report.
Thank you, Mr. Roman. Mr. Reeves.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves. Mr. Drake.
No report.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. Mr. Wallensack.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Wallensack. Mr. Davish.
No report.
Thank you, Mr. Davish. Mr. Horniak.
Just briefly, thank everybody for their work and their efforts into this. And it is exciting for us as a city to move this forward. And I think, as they say, is let's begin. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Horniak. And I have nothing for my standing committee. And we have no one signed in to speak at this point, so I will seek a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves. Second by Mr. Horniak. Thank you. Is there any objections? Having no objections, this meeting is adjourned.